ABC Interactive English. Hello everyone, I'm Mike.
And I'm Karen. Today we are looking at part 2 of our story called The Flying Trunk. So, it is a very interesting idea to have a flying trunk.
Yeah.
Now, in the story, the character goes into the flying trunk and he flies to Turkey. So let me ask you, Mike, if you had a flying trunk, where would you like to go?
Well, I don't know. Turkey sounds like a pretty good choice. Because I've never been there.
I've never been to Turkey either.
Always wanted to go to see some of the cool things they have there, but it's very far away from Taiwan. And I'm not sure I would want my first journey in my magic flying trunk to be such a long journey. So I might fly to, I don't know, Geelong.
Really?
Just try it out. Well, a little test fly in my flying trunk. You don't want to pack for 3 weeks and end up in your flying trunk and you're sore and you can't get out and your bones hurt. So, I think I might maybe down to Kaohsiung or Kending. Maybe I'd fly to Xiaoliuqiu or something in my flying trunk. And if that works,
and then you can start flying farther away.
I might fly to Hong Kong from Kaohsiung, which is closer. Then I might, you know what I mean? Little baby steps before I fly. Oh, I mean, Turkey's far away.
True.
I flew there in an airplane. It was like 12 hours.
That's true.
So
you're more on the safe side. You don't want to do anything too risky.
I'm thinking about how they test airplanes. The first time that someone makes an airplane, you don't get in and fly to a whole other country across the ocean. You fly around for 20 minutes and then you land and you make sure no one dies.
Well, I guess that's
a good day.
Good idea. Because when I was thinking about this question, I thought I would just probably get into the flying trunk and fly to Hawaii.
Well, you could do that. I mean, you'd want to make sure the trunk can float.
True.
Because if it stops working, it will be your boat trunk. It won't be flying, it will be a sailing trunk.
Okay.
But that's not a bad idea. Plus, if you fly to Hawaii, you'll only be wearing, some shorts, a bikini, a swimsuit.
That's right.
You don't need to put a lot of stuff in your trunk, right? I mean, if I flew my trunk to Hokkaido in Japan for skiing, how will I fit the skis and my snow clothes and my boots and all that in the trunk?
You really do think a lot.
I'm planning to do this soon. Just as soon as my flying trunk arrives in the mail, I will be going to Kaohsiung with my swimming suit and a towel, or kending, and I'll let you know how it goes.
Okay, please do.
We're going to get to our article now before we start to say something that's really weird.
The princess lived in the castle. She would be unhappy about a lover. A fortune teller said that, so nobody could see her when her parents weren't there.
All right, so here we are back with the Flying Trunk Part 2. And when we left our formerly rich boy, now not so rich, he has a flying trunk. He hid it in the forest in Turkey. He went to the nearby town. He saw a castle high up on a hill, and like any good castle, it had windows that were very high up, so you can't climb in. And that's all we know. But we're guessing that someone important lives in that castle.
And you are right. Okay, so it says the princess.
The princess
lived in the castle.
What princess?
Well, okay, let me explain what a princess is.
Please do.
So, princess, that is a noun. A princess is a female member of the royal family, which means like the girl, right? Usually the daughter of a king or queen or the wife of a prince. So for example, you could say, you look like a princess in that dress. If you say that to someone, that's definitely a compliment. That just means that they look really, really beautiful and pretty, because when we think about princesses, usually that's what comes to mind.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's what I feel like when I look like a princess.
Exactly.
Of course. Anyways, so let's get back to the article. The princess lives there. Her father is probably mother, king and queen. She's probably very famous, important, and rich. So let's find out what happens. She would be unhappy about a lover. Oh, that's sad. Now, why is that true? Why would she be unhappy about a lover, a boyfriend, or someone in the future she might know? A fortune teller said that. Okay, so it might not be true today, but sometime in her life, this fortune teller with amazing powers to tell you what will happen in the future says, I see your love life will be very hard. Your heart will be broken. You will never find true love. So she must be kind of a sad princess.
Well, I guess so,
Yeah, I mean,
because...
unless she wants to be single.
Well, if she believes the fortune teller, but we never know because the fortune teller could be wrong, right?
Fortune tellers are never wrong.
In the story. But like you said, a fortune teller is someone who tells you what they think will happen to you in the future.
Exactly.
So, but I don't know. I really don't believe it. So maybe it wouldn't be right. But for example, you could say the fortune teller told me that I will become a millionaire.
A millionaire?
Then I will believe that if a fortune teller tells me that.
That's amazing, because that's a good fortune. You want that to be true. All right, so a fortune teller said that she would be unhappy about a lover. That's not good. So nobody could see her when her parents weren't there. Her parents, her mother and father, also the king and queen, they want to protect her and not have her heart broken by some handsome guy who will come along and then leave her, leaving her unhappy. So because if the parents aren't there, they said as a rule, nobody can come in and meet the princess. No young men can come over and say, hi, can I see the princess?
That's kind of sad though, right?
It is kind of sad, but it's also kind of normal for stories like this. But anyway, so yes, this is a very sad thing. She's not allowed to be with anybody. So when we say nobody, this pronoun is just to kind of say not any person, not a single person, not a man, a woman, a boy, a girl, anybody. It's basically to say when we're talking about a place or a time or something that happened, there was not another person, or maybe only you were there, right? I came to the party a half an hour early and nobody was there. Well, you were there and maybe the host of the party was there, but basically not a single person. Now, this could be a good thing, you know, if you go to a movie and nobody's there, you can have the whole movie theater to yourself. That's kind of nice. But if you have a birthday party and nobody comes, that would be sad.
Yes, it would.
Yeah. All right, so she cannot meet any people, nobody, unless her parents are at the castle. She sounds like a lonely princess.
That's right, but I think our character is going to meet her.
True.
Well, I don't know. That's just my guess.
He has a flying trunk.
Ah, that's right. Okay, how about let's take a quick break and we'll come back and learn more.
Sounds good.
The son flew to the castle. He entered the princess's room through a window. He told her,
I'm a Turkish angel, and I came down to see you.
They talked. The princess liked the son's stories, so when he asked her to be his wife, she agreed. She also asked him to come on Saturday. She would have tea with her parents then.
Okay, so we're here with the young man who is now a very poor young man, but he has a magic trunk, and there's a castle on the hill, and inside the castle is a lonely princess. How can we get the young man and the lonely princess to meet?
Haha, well, let's find out. The son flew to the castle.
I knew it.
Oh, so they are going to meet. He entered the princess's room through a window. The window that's really high fly up. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and big, because you can fly a trunk through the window.
And that's how he entered the room. So to enter, that is a verb. It just means to come or go into a particular place or space. For example, you could say, please knock before entering. And that is a very, very important thing to do.
Yes, it's polite to knock before you enter. And of course, the opposite, most of you guys would know, exit. To leave the place is to exit, to go in is to enter. And either way, if you're entering or exiting most buildings or rooms or things like that, you would go through a door. When you talk about going through something, you are entering something, passing through it, and then leaving on the other side. And probably what you're going through is smaller than the space you're going from and going into. So you'll go through a door. If the door is closed and you have to get in, like a firefighter might climb through the window, or if you want to go from this part of the country to that part of the country and there's a mountain in the way, you might go through a tunnel when they cut through the mountain so cars can drive through or under that mountain. But through is basically to enter into a smaller place and then come out the other end to go from one place to another. Back to the article. He, that's the young man, told her, that's the princess, I'm a Turkish angel and I came down to see you.
Wait, so he told a lie.
Right. And
Right?
do Turkish angels travel in flying trunks usually?
Maybe he just finds the princess very pretty, right? And he wants to meet her and he wants her to have a good impression of him.
That's true. And if he told her I was a rich young man, now I'm a poor young man and I have a flying trunk, she would be like, you're crazy. Get out of here. So he says, I'm an angel. And she's like, oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
And then I guess she believed him, right?
She did.
Okay.
And she's also very lonely and bored.
You're right, because she
also
wants
remember
a
that.
friend. She wants someone to talk to.
She'll talk to anybody.
So they talked.
They did.
The princess liked the son's stories.
They're interesting.
So when he told her to be his
He
wife,
asked her. He didn't tell her.
oh yeah, that's right.
He's a gentleman.
Uh-huh. So when he asked her to be his wife, she agreed.
I will.
Wait a minute, but they just met. And then he
Well-
just goes and asks her, say, do you want to be my wife?
But you know, you're a lady. If you met a handsome guy and he said, I'm also a Turkish angel, wouldn't you kind of be like, oh, okay, this guy is definitely boyfriend material?
I guess you're right.
I don't know. I don't meet a lot of angels, so that might be definitely a little more special than any guy you meet or any girl you meet. And of course, if you meet a lovely lady and you want to marry that lovely lady and you do marry that lovely lady, after you are married, you can call her your wife. That is what a woman is when she is married in a relationship, in a marriage. The man will be the husband, the lady will be the wife. In most of the stories and movies, you know, when they get married, the wife will be in a long white dress and all of that stuff. And of course, if you have a family, that wife can also be a mother.
That's
You
right.
can be a mother and a wife at the same time, but usually you'll get married first. So you'll be a wife, then you have kids, then you're a mother, but you're still a wife if you're a lady. That's kind of normal and the way it always goes. Back to the article.
Okay, and it says she also asked him to come on Saturday. She would have tea with her parents then. So she's thinking about, she's going to tell her parents about her husband, because you can't just say, I want to marry somebody and not let your parents know, right? They would be very, very worried.
Okay, you have a daughter, so imagine in a few years you and your husband come back. Mom, Dad, I met a Turkish angel that flew in through my window with a magic trunk. I want to have him come over for tea because I want to marry him. Is that okay? And you just go,
As long as you're happy.
you wouldn't say that.
I wouldn't.
You would go, what? What are you talking about? But anyways, this is not real. It's a fairy tale. And it's very entertaining and interesting if a little strange. But don't worry, we'll have much more tomorrow, won't we?
Yes, we will.
For part 3, the final part of the flying trunk. So fly on back and join us for that. Until then,
See you next time.
hasta la vista.
The princess lived in the castle. She would be unhappy about a lover. A fortune teller said that, so nobody could see her when her parents weren't there. The son flew to the castle. He entered the princess's room through a window. He told her,
I'm a Turkish angel, and I came down to see you.
They talked. The princess liked the son's stories, so when he asked her to be his wife, she agreed. She also asked him to come on Saturday. She would have tea with her parents then.
Hi, I'm Tina. 我们来看这一课的重点单字。第一个 nobody 代名词没有人。Nobody wanted to eat that pie. 没有人想吃那个 pie。下一个单字 enter 动词进入。Please wear a mask when you enter the museum. 请戴口罩进入博物馆。下一个单字 through 介系词穿过、通过。Many trains go through the tunnel each day. 每天很多火车穿过这个隧道。最后一个单字 wife 名词妻子、太太，它的复数形式是 wives. Kevin's wife is a doctor. Kevin 的太太是个医生。接着我们来看重点文法。第一个 Somebody is unhappy about something. 某人对某事物不高兴、不满意。Unhappy 是一个形容词，意思是不愉快的、沮丧的。我们来看看这个例句。The teacher was unhappy about our grades. 老师不满意我们的成绩。下一个文法 come down 下来 come 的三态是 come, came, come。我们来看看这个例句。The cat finally came down from the tree. 那只猫终于从树上下来了。最后一个文法 A asks B to 加动词 A 请求 B 做某事，也可以是说 A 邀请 B 做某事。Ask 在这里可以表示请求、要求或者是邀请的意思。我们先来看看请求、要求这个意思的例句。My mom asked me to finish my homework before dinner. 我妈妈要求我在晚餐前完成作业。我们再来看看邀请这个意思的例句。Mr. Smith asked us to join him. Smith 先生邀请我们加入他。以上就是这一课的重点单词跟文法，我们下一课再见，拜拜。
Imagine a giant treehouse where history meets nature in the most awesome way. Yes, it's Anping Treehouse. Located in Tainan, this place used to be a warehouse but got taken over by trees. Now it's like walking through a giant playground made of trees. Exciting, full of fun, and something you'll always remember. Anping Treehouse was originally the warehouse of Tate & Co. Merchant House. It was built around the end of the 19th century and the beginning of the Japanese occupation. People haven't used the treehouse for 59 years. The locals believed there were ghosts, so they didn't dare get close. Thus, this situation lets the trees grow here without disturbance. After being redecorated and renewed, it was opened to tourists in 2004 as the Anping Treehouse. The treehouse appears to be surrounded by trees. There are the aerial roots of the banyan tree on the wall, and high treetops also become the roof. They form a great scene where natural trees and artificial warehouses exist together. Today, people can walk through the treehouse freely and step on the wooden planks to see some squirrels and birds in the treetops. If you are tired from walking, you can take a break in the treehouse coffee shop and enjoy the beautiful scenery of Tainan while eating ice cream. It's amazing, right? The old buildings and banyan trees live together with roots covering the walls, giving Anping Treehouse a mysterious feel. After years of planning and renovation, it's not abandoned anymore. Now, it's a cool place for nature walks or sightseeing where visitors can relax and unwind. Afterwards, you can also visit the nearby Tate & Co. Merchant House for a look at Anping's history.